Hey y'all, welcome to the Deep South Podcast, where your girlfriend and her friends have zero respect for your trailer. I'm your host, Possum Paul McGraw Jr. Last week, I bought a haunted mirror from a guy that had Natalie's friend, or at least they seem to know each other, trapped in it. They had an epic Illuminati demon fight until Natalie opened a portal that I definitely did not fall through. But then Raccoon Jr., or Mary if you're not trying to poke the bear, walked through the portal and into my kitchen like she owned the damn thing. Who is she? What does she want? Why does she hate trailers? Let's find out. Mary whispered like a confession she'd been avoiding for 3 centuries.
Abigail, she's dead, isn't she?
Natalie didn't answer with words, she just nodded. Mary closed her eyes. Her voice didn't tremble, but the air around her did, like the pressure before a thunderclap. That flicker of grief passed like a shadow behind her cosmic mask. The lights started to flicker quick, like they were one breath away from being extinguished entirely. The temperature in the room dropped by at least 5 degrees. Then she opened her eyes and the whole room snapped. Every reflective surface in my trailer, from the TV to the chrome toaster, rippled outward. The kitchen light bulb burst. My Elvis commemorative mirror cracked straight down the middle. And then all hell broke loose. Natalie's mask lit up first, that triangle glowing with pale green light like it was channeling the ghost of a comet. Mary raised her hand without a word. The stars in her mask pulsed, and the trailer shuddered like the floor was suddenly deciding to be a trampoline. They clashed in the air above my coffee table, and let me tell you, I have never felt less necessary in a fight in my life. Pale green and cosmic void magic tore across the living room. My lazy boy caught fire, then unburned itself, then disappeared entirely. Where Mary's powers seemed to pull the world inward like a black hole, Natalie's flared out, sharp and bright like a flare fired into midnight. The fridge floated 3 feet off the floor and made a sound like a moaning goat. Grits and Gravy were under the couch, holding each other like the end credits were rolling. I ducked behind the kitchen island just in time for the microwave to scream. That's when the trailer started to give up. One wall peeled clean off like a tin of sardines. The roof shot straight into the sky like it was trying to escape the narrative. The floor folded in half. Everything not nailed down, and some stuff that was got ripped up and turned into confetti. By the time it was over, my trailer wasn't destroyed, it was gone. Ashes. Rubble. A blackened crater where my home and all my clean underwear used to be. I'm pretty sure that witch fight ain't covered under renter's insurance. Natalie stood amid the wreckage, panting, knees wobbling. Her mask flickered, then fizzled out like a dead light bulb. Raccoon Jr. hovered for a moment longer, then gently landed in the dirt. Gravy scrambled onto her shoulder, twitchy and silent. She turned, didn't say a word, just walked away slow, deliberate, like someone who had nothing left to explain. She didn't look back. Her boots thudded against the earth, each step sounding farther away until it was like she'd never been there at all. And then she was just gone. I crawled out of what used to be the pantry and stood on what used to be the floor. Well, what now? I asked, exhaling all the breath that I was holding, staring down the ruin that was my trailer. Natalie wiped blood from her lip and didn't even look at me when she said,
Now, we go see Thistle.
The air split open, revealing a new portal, pale green and swirling, slow this time, like it didn't want to tear. Behind it was black woods, misty, silent, the kind of place where shadows walk themselves and trees remember your secrets.
Come on, she's deeper in.
She who? I asked, throwing down a half-melted spatula I grabbed out of reflex.
Thistle, the last piece of the Triad.
Like a plant?
Like a witch.
We stepped through the portal and into the woods. The smell hit first. Wet moss, old smoke, copper. Natalie walked like she'd been here before. Straight line, no hesitation. I followed like a loyal bloodhound who used to live in a trailer that 2 eldritch beings tore apart. The deeper we went, the weirder it got. The trees leaned in. Roots curled around the stones like they were lovers. I swear, one stump had teeth. There was a rustle in the brush, sudden, then quiet. Something in the shadows clicked its tongue twice, low and slow, like it was counting us. Grits and Gravy kept glancing over their shoulders, staying close, like they knew this place had rules and we weren't following them right. I squinted at them. Hang on a minute. Didn't Gravy just leave with Raccoon Jr.? Natalie didn't even look back.
Yeah.
Well, then how's he here? She just shrugged. Why don't the laws of physics apply to you two? Gravy sneezed. Glitter came out. Grits held up a sign that said, bless you. Natalie jumped over a fallen tree.
The Triad hasn't been complete in so long. We've been split since before I was born. The normal rules might not always apply now.
I stopped dead in the trail, holding my hands up. Okay, hold up. While we're defying Newton and glittering like a rave raccoon, what the hell is the Triad anyway? Natalie didn't stop walking, but her voice shifted, lower, steadier.
The Triad is me, Thistle, and Mary, 3 witches bound across time. Naturally, we live forever. Thissy has looked exactly the same age for hundreds of years. If we're killed, we reincarnate when we're needed. Sometimes years apart, sometimes worlds apart. But the bond always pulls us back together. When all three of us are alive and in the same world, the connection snaps back into place. The power flows again. Everything gets louder.
She stepped over a fallen log. I tried to follow and immediately caught my boot on a root, stumbling until a low branch whacked me in the side of the head. Right, so y'all are like different pieces of the same puzzle? Her mouth twitched, but she kept her pace.
Something like that. Separate, we're like torches that burn bright enough to see in the night with. Together, we're wildfire.
I rubbed my forehead where the branch hit me. Well, that explains why y'all had the same triangle mask when you powered up. But why'd they look different? Are y'all like different Pokemon types or something? Natalie gave a small laugh.
We're all capable of the same magic. None of it's exclusive, but each of us excels at a different school. Mary works in entropy. She can make things break down, age, rot, crumble. Like time itself bends for her. Her mask is the void because that's what her magic feels like. Like looking into something endless that's already decided how you end.
A shiver crept over my spine, but Natalie kept going.
Thistle's blood and bone. She'll spill her own blood to shape it. Beads she can fling like knives, threads she can stitch into flesh. She can even pull at someone else's blood if she's willing to pay for it. Her mask's carved bone because it's a reminder. Magic has a cost, and she always pays it in blood. And me.
She glanced at me then, her steps quieter on the pine needles.
I walk the astral. My mask glows pale green like a ghost silhouette, bound by rings of sacred geometry. I can move between the physical and the astral at will. Slip through one, step back, into the other. That's why I can blink step, flicker in and out until my enemy can't tell where I'll be next. I can pull other things into the astral too. Open it like a curtain and shut it again, clean as a blade. Whatever's caught in the closing, gone. Perfectly shaped to the cut.
She lifted a hand and traced a loose shape in the air as she walked.
If I wanted to, I could draw a circle around your hat right now, close it, and your hat would be on the astral plane before you knew it was gone, along with whatever part of your head fell inside the circle.
I touched the brim of my cap instinctively. Okay, well, that's terrifying. Natalie smirked faintly.
And that's why I'm good at exorcisms. I can interact with astral forms like they're solid, rip a spirit clean off someone and send it packing.
I straightened up. Oh, so with Father John.
Exactly. I was separating the poltergeist's astral form from his physical form.
Oh, yeah, that makes way more sense than what I wrote on the incident report. We walked in silence for a bit. I was taking it all in and listening to the sound of our boots hitting the forest floor when it hit me. Hang on a minute. Your mask, the triangle. Natalie looked over her shoulder, eyebrow raised. That's what it means, ain't it? It ain't the Illuminati or alien satellites. It's three of y'all.
Yes, Pa. The triangular-shaped mask represents the Triad.
I stopped in my tracks. I've been yelling about a secret lizard queen on my podcast for like 4 years.
I know.
I sold bumper stickers. She didn't stop walking.
I know.
I jogged to catch up. So, you ain't an alien. You're a what? A spirit-blinking reincarnated witch puzzle piece?
More or less.
Hot damn, I muttered. That's somehow worse. I'm still keeping the bumper stickers. She shook her head and chuckled quietly, stopping. Finally, we reached a clearing. Nestled in the middle was a cottage that looked like it had grown out of the woods itself. Stone walls wrapped in moss, black chimney puffing green smoke, and bone charms hanging from the porch like wind chimes made of nightmares. The gate was made of twisted antlers. The welcome mat just said no. Natalie didn't hesitate, walked right up and knocked once. The door creaked open before she could knock again.
Took you long enough,
came a voice from inside.
Hey, Thissy.
The inside of the cottage looked like a taxidermy shop, and a church had a baby. And then that baby grew up angry. Bones hung from the rafters in neat spirals, dried red stains forming runes against the yellow and white. Jars glowed faintly on crooked shelves. The fireplace burned without wood, just a big hunk of black stone crackling like it remembered being struck by lightning. The scent of copper and herbs hung heavy. Thistle Ashford stood at the center like she had always been there. She looked about Natalie's age, maybe mid to late 20s. But her eyes had the tired weight of somebody who had seen every mistake humanity had ever made and kept a receipt for all of them. Her hair was long and tangled with feathers and beads. Her hands were stained red at the fingertips like she'd been digging through entrails instead of dirt. She stood over a cauldron, thick red sludge bubbling just under the rim. She took out a knife that looked suspiciously like it was made out of a human femur, cut up a lemon, and dropped it in. The liquid bubbled angrily for a second before settling back down into a lazy simmer. She gave me a look like she already knew my blood type, shoe size, and my last 3 sins.
You bought the narrator.
she said dryly.
Cute.
I'm Possum Pa McGraw Jr., I said, trying to sound important and not at all like a man still smelling like exploded trailer.
Yes. You reek of burnt destiny and cheese crackers.
Thank you? She turned to Natalie, and for a second, just a second, her whole face softened.
You're late.
I found her. Mary, well, Pa did. Who knew that we should search Marketplace for witch trial-era mirror prison?
Thissy stiffened, her fingers flexed. Somewhere above us, a bone charm cracked all on its own.
She's back. Stronger than I expected.
Thissy closed her eyes.
No wonder I feel stronger. The balance isn't broken anymore. The Triad is complete again.
She looked at Natalie, and then me, like she was sizing up the odds.
Everything's going to move faster now. Come, I'll explain everything so that we're all up to speed. The unmaking, the sealing, Abigail.
This week's mail was delivered by Grits and Gravy, dressed in tiny witch hats and riding a tandem broomstick powered by sheer confusion and a stolen leaf blower. They crashed 3 times and still arrived early. It's time for your dog's favorite segment, Redneck Mailtime.
Redneck Mailtime. It's time for Redneck Mailtime. Yee-haw, Redneck Mailtime.
Letter number 1 comes from Dale in Arkansas. Pa, if someone gets reincarnated, does that mean their social security number resets too? Well, Dale, depending on who's asking, I'd say yes. Spiritually speaking, your soul gets a reboot. Government-wise, you're out of luck. Try convincing the DMV you're on your second lifetime and see how far that gets you. Also, if you do succeed, let me know. I got some reincarnated parking tickets that need disappearing. Letter number 2 comes from Missy down in Kentucky. My grandma says our family line comes from witches, but all I inherited was anxiety and flat feet. Did something go wrong? Missy, it sounds like you got the modern version of a curse, generational trauma, and bad arches. But don't count yourself out. Sometimes witchiness skips a generation. Or maybe you got the quiet magic, the kind that keeps plants alive and people honest. Keep a spoon under your pillow and see if your dreams start talking. If they do, write back. Letter number 3 comes from Theo in Texas. Are familiars always animals, or could mine be like a haunted Roomba or something? Theo, I once met a guy whose familiar was a harmonica that screamed in German whenever danger was near. So yes, a haunted Roomba is fair game. Just make sure it's loyal and doesn't try to eat your socks. If it starts making circles around your bed at night, it might be protecting you, or warming up for a soul harvest. Keep an eye on it. Letter number 4 comes from Jenna in Oregon. How do you know if a witch is good or evil? Jenna, it ain't always black and white. Some witches throw fire to protect. Others bake cookies laced with regret. Best way to tell? Watch how they treat the small things. Critters, kids, raccoons in distress. Evil witches usually got real dry gardens and no patience for anybody's birthday. Good witches might still hex your ex, but they'll do it with style and a good playlist. Letter number 5 comes from Ronnie in Georgia. Why do witches always live in the woods? Wouldn't it be easier to be evil in the city? Ronnie, buddy, you ever try finding peace in a Walmart parking lot? The woods got silence, shadows, and roots old enough to remember what you did last summer. Cities are loud, full of cameras, and bad for broom mileage. Evil's louder in the city, but magic's quieter. It likes crickets and fog and the smell of old bark. Next week on our 6-part Halloween special, Thistle opens up about what really happened all those years ago. Why and how was Mary sealed in the mirror? Apparently there might be a 4th witch. Things are unraveling fast. You've been listening to the Deep South Podcast. I'm your host, Possum Pa McGraw Jr. signing off. Make sure you guys check the description for the links that lead to where the ladies who are voicing our witches do their thing. They're all very talented and have something cool that you're definitely gonna love. Be safe out there and stay weird.
Something deep is screaming no, but my mind just won't let go. I'm